So, why am I single? That's a good question. I don't know, because I'm a catch. No, let me stop.
Pour me water, holy water, quench this fire.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a story time. This is gonna be my first story time, and I don't know why I wanted to do a story time, but we're gonna do it. Sit back, relax, get something to drink. I got my little drink here. It's apple juice. I'm not 21. Get something to eat and just, listen to my story. Hopefully this won't be too long, but we'll see what happens. No, but for real. So why am I single? I believe I'm single because I'm not ready to be in a relationship yet. I used to think I was ready. I used to be like, yep, you know what? I'm gonna find me my Mr. Right by the time college is over. I'm gonna have my college sweetheart. We just gonna live life. We're both gonna go into, we're gonna go into like graduate school and it's gonna be lit, and then, husband, all that whole picture perfect ideal of what my life was gonna be like. That's what my mindset was when I came into college at 16. Here I am, 20, graduating in like 5 months. Yeah, so obviously things did not work out as I thought they were going to, but God's plans are greater than my plans, so that's just a disclaimer. But yeah, I am single. The reason why I believe I'm single is because I'm not ready for a relationship yet. I haven't gotten what I'm supposed to get out of this season that I'm in right now, and I think that because of that, because I haven't been intentional with this season of singleness, as people like to call it, I haven't been intentional with it. My focus hasn't been where it should be. God has been like, nope. You might have been ready, but you're not ready right now. And I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly content with that now. I wasn't content with that beforehand, but we'll get into that. So I'm gonna take you guys, we're gonna rewind it back because I wasn't always single. Hopefully by the end of this, you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Throughout this video, I'm not gonna be using people's real names. And if you know, you know. So, and I know the back looks like blurred out or like dark or whatever. That was not intentional, but I kind of like it because the focus is on me and my silhouette, so we'll keep it like that. So when I came in freshman year, like I said, I was 16 and I didn't know no better. I've always had a good head on my shoulders, but reflecting now, I did not know what I thought I knew at the time. So I come in 16, and when I came into college, when it comes to relationships, I was never worried about academics. That's just a disclaimer. When I came in with the mindset, like I said, I'm gonna find Mr. Right by the time by the time college is over. I'm gonna have my college sweetheart. It's gonna be lit. I'm gonna go to law school. He gonna go to whatever. Then we gonna get married. Blah 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 blah. Okay. And I came in because I would watch movies like, Drumline, Stomp the Yard, Love and Basketball, things like that, where, they had their sweetheart in college. Everything was all peaches and cream. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get that. I came from a high school. It was like less than 1,800 kids, I think, to I go to a huge school. I think Maryland's one of the biggest schools in the state. I don't know, but so I came in, I was like, oh my gosh, they're guys everywhere. It's just like guys, men, just boys. Oh my gosh, oh my goodness. When the guys I went to high school with were people I went to a middle school with, elementary school with, so same guys all the time. Now you get to college and just like, oh my gosh. Went through my freshman year, and it's not like my focus was on guys, but I couldn't not think about it. Freshman year, your focus, aside from academics, of course, is you want to make friendships and get to know people, So, I saw guys. The guys were everywhere. And I have no problem making friends, so that was just that. So that was freshman year, and towards the end of freshman year, I realized that I was thinking a little bit too much about a potential bae or a potential somebody entering my life. And I saw, of course, people in relationships and all that good stuff. So it's difficult when you see that not to think about it or not to wonder, oh, when is my time gonna come, da 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 da. So towards the end, I was like, you know what, God, I'm gonna fall back I'm not going to think about this. I've never been the type of person to believe in like a girl pursuing a guy. That was never my mindset. And still to this day, that's not my mindset. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it to you. I'm not going to think about this like that. Whoever you have for me will come. That was the end of freshman year. Here comes sophomore year. Let me just... Okay. Sophomore year comes, and we're gonna call the main character of this story, let me give him a name. We're gonna call him Tosin. That's what we're gonna call him. And like I said, if you know, you know. Here comes sophomore year, and mind you, my mentality after freshman year was like, you know, God, I'm gonna wait for you. Okay. Sophomore year comes, I befriend this Tosin character. And so like I said, we started a friendship. Like we knew of each other freshman year, and we didn't have our first conversation till like the end of, literally like the very end of freshman year. Come sophomore year, we both move into school early. We like kick it off, like we're hanging out, whatever. And so then we develop a friendship, and then we develop what my mom likes to call a special friendship. My mom is not really big on labels. She's always told us like not to focus on the label of something because that can mess things up sometimes, and people oftentimes focus too much on a label than what's like the actual thing. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but anyway, the point is we're gonna refer to it as a special friendship. So we developed this special friendship, and that went from September of my sophomore year to July. So that entire sophomore year, Tosin. So, I mean, that was cool. And I didn't realize this at the time of this special friendship, but later on, it really hit me that during that time, God was not my focus during that entire sophomore year time period. Like, I would pray to God, go to church, like worship him and all that, but he was not my focus as he should have been and as he should always be. He was not the center of that special friendship. He was not. I realized after the fact that I had put God on the back burner, because now I had this person in my life who I could go to when I had troubles, who I could go to like when I needed advice, who I was talking to 24/7, who I would see all the time, like we would hang, chill, like that was my person. So come July, I thought everything, was peaches and cream, roses, everyone was a fan of this. Everyone was like, oh, you guys are so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay. Come July, we're having a conversation one day, and then I feel like a woman's intuition is very powerful, and my intuition has never failed me. So one day I was like, oh, like, are we good? Are we okay? Boom. Boom. Lo and behold, things were not okay. Not like I didn't do anything wrong, obviously. What, me? But that day, by the end of that night, mind you, I asked the question, are we good? It was like one evening. The next day, by the end of that night, we took a break. Was not my decision, but it was established that a break needed to happen because Tosin had some stuff that he was dealing with. And I understood it. It wasn't like a cop-out. Like, it wasn't an excuse for nothing. Like, I understood where he was coming from. Was I happy with the decision? Of course, who would be? Like when you go from everything's like, I was really blindsided by this, but like you go from everything being okay to like, oh, we need to take a break. I was like, oh, okay. So I took that a little bit too hard. But yeah, so then 2 weeks go by. And so when we established that there would be a break, it was also established that we wouldn't be talking as often, obviously, because there was no point. Like, aside from interactions that had to happen, we wouldn't really be, it was just what it was. So 2 weeks pass, and I go to France. And in that moment, it was like, that's what I needed, because, out of sight, out of mind, I'm in a whole new place with family, and like, I'm all the way over here. This situation is over here. That's exactly what I need to just refresh myself and to get ready and like enjoy my vacation and just get ready for this new semester that's about to happen. So in France, I decided to refocus. I realized that, I'm single now. This is my season of singleness, and I need to be intentional with this. So I hit up my pastor, and I email him, and I ask him like what advice he would have for me in terms of, getting closer to God, getting back that relationship, getting more into my word, da da da. So he gives me some advice. I'm like, okay, cool. It's about to happen. And so my naive self was like, yeah, you know what? I'm over it. Everything's cool. It's my time to focus on me. Okay. Get back from France. I have one day to get my life together because I move in to school early the following day. I move back in, and sometime during that time that I moved in, whether it be that same day or a couple days after that, I finally have a conversation with this Tosin character. Have a conversation, and this is the first conversation that we've had since early July, and mind you, it's like the end of August at this point. So we talk, and it's established from that conversation that Tosin is going to take junior. Mind you, this was all a break. How we ended it, everything was like we were cool with each other, so it was a break. And so Tosin is like, you know what, I'm going to take junior year to focus on me. Like, I have some things I need to do with this. I need to use this year for myself. I'm like, okay, that's perfectly fine, understandable. I need to do the same. It's really hot. I need to do the same. Like, you know what, we're both juniors. It's an important time. This is probably going to be our hardest year yet. We both have stuff going on. Like, he does everything at school I just got a new job. So I had 2 jobs at this point. I was on 2 e-boards, 16 credits. Like, I had things that I needed to focus on. So I was like, okay, that's perfectly fine. And like I said, going back to, I'm going to be intentional with my season of singleness. This is about to be the time that I need to get myself together. That was on one hand what I was thinking, but on the other hand, I was like, okay, he said it's going to take, about a year. We'll see what happens. Like, who knows what's going to happen? I probably won't have feelings for him by the end of this year, but who knows? So during my junior year, I lived by myself because I'm an RA. And I was on the side of campus with like all freshmen and sophomores. Meanwhile, all of my friends who weren't RAs, they're all off campus. So I was by myself a lot of the time. And during that time, I was like, this is what I need to really focus on myself, my studies, da 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 da. So during that year, mind you, I said going into the year, season of singleness, I'm intentional with my time, I'm gonna refocus on God, da da da. Is that really what happened? That year did not go as planned. It did not go as planned for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons why it did not go as planned was because it was hard. It's hard to get over something or someone when you constantly see them, when they're constantly around. So if like I said, if you know, you know. But me and Tosin run in the same circle. We have the same friends. We're involved in the same activities. We see each other all the time. We're in the same group messages. We're in the same group message. Basically, the point is, there was no way I could physically remove this individual from my life. And not that I wanted to, but I did want to get over this whole thing. Remember, like I said, refocusing on God, da da da. So it's difficult to do that because of the reasons I just mentioned, but also because during this time, when I was supposed to be focusing on myself, getting over it, not thinking about that, I had people in my ear. Oh, Tosin said this. Oh, he still feels this way. Oh, yeah, he still likes, oh my gosh, I still have faith in you guys' relationship. No. And some of these people telling me this were people close to him. And like, they were my friends too. So like, why wouldn't I believe them? But not only that, like, not only why wouldn't I believe them, but I found that most of that year, I was thinking about what was going on in his head. Like, it's one thing to hear things from people, but it's another thing to hear it from the source. So I'm just like, okay, all these people are telling me this, they're telling me this. What's going on in his head? Like, is this true? Does he really feel this way? Like, because we weren't talking like that. We barely texted. We saw each other when we had to see each other, but that was it. So I'm just like, okay, these people are making it easy for me. I'm trying not to focus on that, but it's already difficult. So yeah. So then close to my birthday's in November. This is kind of when conversations started to pick up. Because I asked him to do something for my birthday, and I invited him to my birthday brunch. So conversation kind of starts to pick up around that time, after my birthday. It was like Thanksgiving and the holidays, da 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 da. That was cool. So And mind you, I never mentioned any of this to him. I didn't mention what I was thinking, how I was feeling, what people were saying to me, none of that. I waited for him to say something to me before, yeah. So fast forward to the end of senior year. I think it was the end of, not senior year, the end of junior year / like summertime, because I stayed on campus all over, like all throughout the summer. Fast forward, and during this time, I was feeling some sort of way because like I was still confused. I was still trying to get over it. I was still wondering what's going on in his head because like, you know, when you're dealing with something, like for example, like you might be sad and hurt about a situation and the other person involved in the situation is like living life. You're like, I'm feeling this way, but you're over here. What's going on? What am I missing? So I was like, okay. So I felt some kind of way. Fast forward to this is a specific day I'm thinking about. And I go and visit our mutual friend. We'll call him Michael. I had gotten really close to Michael over this time period, not in spite of Tosin. I just got really close to Michael. And Michael and Tosin happened to be roommates. So I go and visit Michael. Michael knows I'm coming. Tosin does not know I'm coming. And they're both, like I said, in the same apartment. So I go and visit Michael. Tosin opens the door. Okay, hello, hi. I go hug another friend of ours that's in like their apartment, hang out with Michael for a little bit, then I leave. Later that day, I get a text message and it's like, oh, are we cool? Are we okay? Da, da, da. So we have a conversation after that. We're just gonna fast forward through the insignificant parts. We have a conversation, and that conversation was the conversation I think that I needed from the jump, like in the beginning. But mind you, it's the end of junior year now. A whole year has passed. We have a conversation and we lay out everything on the table. Everything I felt during this year, everything like he felt, everything he thought, I thought, da da da. Literally everything. That conversation probably lasted like an hour and some change, but it's all out now. And from that conversation, it is established that, you know what, we're just gonna be friends. We're gonna be friends. It's not that like, I didn't want him in my life or he didn't want me in his. We're just gonna be friends. Okay. So we leave it at that. So yeah, during this time, I will say like, just to kind of like recap over this year and some change that had happened. Mind you, I went in and thinking like, this is my season of singleness. I'm gonna use it wisely. I'm gonna be intentional. I'm gonna focus on God and strengthen our relationship. And that didn't necessarily go as planned. Well, it did not go as planned because on the one hand, I'd think that, but on the other hand, I'd be like, okay, so what about this break? Okay, what's going on in his head? Okay, what's going on? Like my focus was not where I needed to be. And also during this time, just again, disclaimer, my focus never shifted from like my academics. That was never, at no point in the story does that need to be the worry because I had that on lock. So I was not intentional with my time. I did not use that time wisely. Like again, I would pray, go to church, worship God, but our relationship, the energy I was putting into wondering about this was not the same energy I was putting into my relationship with God. And I'll get into that. So senior year comes and this past semester, and the one thing that people keep saying to me, I don't know if they say it to him, but like people keep saying to me, oh, you guys have an interesting like friendship. Like you guys are like, y'all are cool. Y'all are still friends. Like, wow, that's interesting, because I guess people who like end things or whatever, like they don't speak anymore or whatever. But I was like, I mean, yeah, like we're cool. Like we were friends first before anything. So, I mean, I don't know if it's weird. Like, I don't know, comment if you think that it's weird to still be friends with someone who you had like something else with. And like now y'all are just cool. Is that possible? I don't know. But for me, I didn't think anything of it when we established like we were going to be friends. So that's what a lot of people have been saying to me as of recent. Like, oh, you guys have such an interesting friendship, da da da. Because like I said, like things I get invited to, he gets invited to. When people want to hang, have kickbacks and stuff, we're both there. So like in my mind, I was like, there's no way that I can like eliminate this person from my life. Like, so yeah, fast forward now to today. Here we are. Why am I still single? Hopefully that story has kind of shed some light on like what I mentioned in the very beginning, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready for the kind of relationship that I want. I want a relationship that is going to be blessed by God, ordained by God. God is in the center of it, and he never leaves that. That's what I want. And in order for that to happen, I need to get myself right with God first. Mind you, this is not me putting my beliefs on other people. I'm just speaking from what I know, what I believe, me personally, my experiences. There's this sermon that I watched the other day. It's called it's a 8-part series called Relationship Goals. I'll leave the link to the video I'm referring to at the bottom. But the video is called Single, Not Alone, and it touches on the season of singleness and why it's so important. And something I got from that was how, in order for any kind of relationship you want to work, first we are called to strengthen our relationship with God first. The relationship you have with God it determines all the other relationships you want to have, friendships, business partnerships, intimate relationships, things like that, marriage, whatever. Your relationship with God is the starting point. You cannot have successful relationships with other people before your relationship with God. That's something that I had not gotten. Of course, I knew it was preached about, talked about, but I hadn't really understood that until this point. And that's why I thank God for everything that's happened up until this point, because I don't think I would have gotten that had I once still been in that special friendship or any of that. Some things had to happen in order for me to get to where I am now. And I always used to say, oh God, I want to get closer with you. Every year comes around, people I want this year to be where I strengthen my relationship with God, And I would pray about it, talk about it, but my actions did not match my words. I would say something, pray about it, but my heart was not in it. And that's been the problem. I know how I get when I really want something. When I really want a grade, or when I really want a job, when I really want something, I go for it with everything I have in me. And I did not do that with my relationship with God. I know a friend of mine, she tweeted, if I can find the tweet, I'll put it somewhere. But she was the same energy that you put into getting or wanting a relationship, a significant other, put that same energy into your relationship with God. And that tweet is still so profound to this day, because that's what I had not been doing. I had not been doing that, yet I wanted a relationship with someone else. No. So my relationship with God, number 1. 2, my relationship with myself, learning to love myself after, of course, loving God. That was something that, I always talk about me time and, loving myself, And not that I haven't been doing that, but I have not been giving it my all. And that is something that I want to change in 2018. I've already started to lay the foundation with me and my relationship with God. I'm starting fresh. And I thank God for his grace and his mercy, because he could have left me a long time ago. Look, that is the reason why I believe that right now I'm single, because I'm not in the position where God can present someone to me and that relationship be as successful as God would want it to be, because I'm not ready yet. I am not 100% whole within myself for me to then want to love someone else. Again, first love God, then myself, and through that I can then love someone else. I'm a firm believer that whoever your significant other is, or whoever you want that to be, that person is not meant to complete you. That person is you are not supposed to be at 50%. The other person bring 50% to not complete you. When you get in a relationship with somebody, that person should complement you. There is such a difference between someone completing you and someone complimenting you. Your significant other should complement you. Your significant other should enhance what's already at 100%. Bring out the best in you. Continue to push you to where you need to be. But if that person's not in your life, you shouldn't think your life is meaningless or worthless, or you should know your worth. Cultivate yourself, love yourself, really push yourself, enjoy the season that you're in before you get in another season. I feel like in our generation, a lot of us focus on getting in a relationship, finding bae and this, that, and the third on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. People talk about relationship goals and they try to give advice and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I find that people are not content with being by themselves. They are so much in a hurry to, get in a relationship, be with someone else. That's where their focus is. And that's where I've messed up or struggled with over the years. And I realize that now I need to be, not that I'm not, but I need to be content where I am before I can even think about wanting to be in a relationship with someone. I have so much stuff going on in my life right now. I'm about to graduate, looking at jobs, going to law school, things like that. Being in a relationship that is coming. There is a time and a place for everything. If there's anything I'd want anyone to take away from this video, is to be content where you are. If you are single, be content in this season of singleness. There is no greater time in your life than the time in which you're the only person you have to worry about. You're by yourself. This is the time where you cultivate your best self. This is a time where you lay the groundwork and foundation for the rest of your life. You learn to love yourself wholeheartedly, so you don't need nobody else. This is a time where you focus on you before someone else comes, because when someone else comes, you do not need that to be a distraction. If you already got stuff going on and someone else comes and just wants to add to it, that is perfectly fine. But you do not need somebody else to now come and make you whole. You don't need somebody else to tell you who you are, give you your identity, give you your purpose, because that can only come from God. And so it took me a while to realize that, but now as I learn more, grow, and just get older, I really realize what's important, what my priority is. Mr. Right is gonna come when he comes. He's gonna come when God sees that I'm ready. And right now, I'm not there yet, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I am only 20. I have so much more of my life left to live. And if I want that picture perfect idea that I had, I know that I need to focus right now on God first and myself, because I cannot love somebody wholeheartedly if I don't give that love to God first. I do not ever want to be in a position where I am trying to get God to bless something he did not ordain, that he did not intend for, he did not permit to happen. So that is why I'm single. Hopefully this video made sense. Hopefully you enjoyed it, but yeah. Check out my last video if you haven't, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.